In this lecture, now we will go through nucleophilic substitution reaction of alkyl halides, right? And then we'll see some important type of nucleophiles, right? And we'll be discussing of embedent nucleophiles, right? We will be looking into those important nucleophilic substitution reactions where nucleophiles are acting as embedent nucleophiles, right? We'll understand what is an embedent nucleophile. If you look at this reaction here, alkyl halide, right? This is an alkyl halide which is ethyl bromide. It reacts with potassium cyanide, right, to give you ethyl cyanide, and it reacts with silver cyanide to give you ethyl isocyanide. Nc is the isocyanide and Cn is cyanide. Here the important thing to understand here is that first of all, when we understand an organic reaction, it's a reaction between a substrate, right? Here substrate is ethyl bromide, which is an organic compound, and a reagent. Reagent here is your potassium cyanide, right? And reagent provides a nucleophile or an electrophile. Here reagent is giving us a nucleophile, right, which is Cn, cyanide ion, right? But if you notice, nucleophile is same, cyanide, in both the reaction, but products are different. Here you are getting ethyl cyanide, here you are getting ethyl isocyanide. So what is the reason that with the same nucleophile we are getting different products, right? And such nucleophiles that result into different products are known as embedent nucleophiles, right? Mb simply means, Mb means two, or Mb means both, right? Mb is a word, you can understand it from the word only, it's Mb dent, right? Mb means both, right? So here cyanide ion, if you look at this product, here carbon atom is joined to carbon of cyanide, this is joined to electron deficient carbocation, right? We know that in an alkyl halide, this is an alkyl halide, right? Here you have, this is the negative center, this is the positive center. So what nucleophile will do, it will attack this electron deficient carbon atom of alkyl halide. Now why we are getting two different products? The simple reason is, in this case cyanide ion has attacked through carbon atom, right? Cyanide ion is attached to this electron deficient carbon atom through the carbon of cyanide, whereas in the second case you can see carbon is joined to nitrogen atom. In the second case, this cyanide ion is attached to this electron deficient carbon atom through the nitrogen atom, right? So when it will attach through nitrogen atom, it will result into an isocyanide, right? And when it will attach through carbon atom, this carbon atom, negative carbon atom, through this form, through first form, and this is the second form, right? So when it will attach through carbon atom of first form, this is carbon is, you can see it has a negative charge, so it will attach itself to this electron deficient positive carbon atom to form cyanide, right? In the second case, it will attach through the nitrogen atom that has two lone pair of electrons. This nitrogen atom can donate its lone pair of electron to this electron deficient carbon atom, right, thereby forming a bond with it, right, to form an isocyanide, right? So such nucleophiles that has two attacking centers, it can attack through two centers, right, are your embedent nucleophiles, or what we can use other terms, it can attack through both of its carbon atoms. You can see Mb is both, right? So embedent is that can attack through both of the atoms. It can attack through carbon to form cyanide, it can attack through nitrogen because of the lone pair of electrons on nitrogen atom that it can donate to electron deficient carbon atom to form an isocyanide. Here you have negative charge, it can attach itself to this positive carbon atom, right? So these are ambident nucleophiles that has two nucleophilic centers, right? So when it will attach to the electron deficient carbon atom through different atoms, it will form different compounds. Now one important thing is here where you see this cyanide compound, ethyl cyanide, here you have major product as cyanide, but some in minor quantity some of isocyanide will also get formed. And in the second reaction where you see the major product, this is the major product, the isocyanide, some in minor quantity this cyanide will also get formed, right? Now coming on to the other nucleophile, here also you can see your nucleophile is nitrite ion, right? And in both the cases nucleophile is nitrite ion, right? And but the products are different. Here you are getting ethyl nitrite, here you are getting nitroalkane, nitroethane, right? So here the reason is same. Nitrite ion also exists in nitrite. Firstly, it's a nucleophile and it exists in two different forms. This is the first form, this is the second form, right? So here when it will attach itself to the electron deficient carbon atom, right? When it will attach through the first form, when it will attach it through the first form, this form, right, where it has lone pair of electrons and a negative charge, right? You can see it has a negative charge on oxygen atom, right? In the first form it will attach to electron deficient carbon through this negative oxygen, right, to form nitrite. In the second form it will attach through nitrogen atom, same as here in case of cyanide, through its lone pair of electron. It will donate the lone pair of electron to the carbon atom, right, to form nitroalkane. So first reaction is where nitrite is joined or nitrite ion attacks through negative oxygen, right, through negative oxygen atom, here this one. Second is NO2 minus, that means it is attacking through form first. Nitrite attacks through lone pair on nitrogen atom, right, to form nitroalkane. Right, so this is also MB. MB means both. So here also it can attack through both nitrogen atom or through oxygen atom to form different compounds, right? And here also in the first reaction, this is the major product, you will get some minor nitroalkane also, and in the second reaction you have nitroalkane as the major product, you will get some nitrite also, right? So this is an ambident nucleophile. This is an ambident nucleophile that has two nucleophilic centers, two nucleophilic, or what we say is two attacking centers, right? In this case you have oxygen and nitrogen attacking centers, right? And in this case, in case of cyanide, you have two attacking centers or two nucleophilic centers, right, which are carbon and nitrogen. And through nitrogen it mostly it connects via the lone pair of electron, right, which it can transfer to the electron deficient carbon atom of alkyl halide, right? Now we'll just look into these reagents, right? In the first case it forms cyanide because potassium cyanide is majorly an ionic compound, right? It will give you potassium ion and cyanide ion, right? Now when this cyanide ion is a negative ion, right, that will attack to this electron deficient carbon atom to form cyanide, right, ethyl cyanide. Whereas silver cyanide, right, this is an electrovalent compound, whereas silver cyanide, right, is a covalent compound, and it exists in the form of, I'll just show you the structure, right, it exists as right, sorry, it exists as nitrogen and you have carbon over here, right. Right, so here it can attach to this carbon atom through the lone pair on nitrogen atom, right. This is your covalent compound, right. Covalent means here it will transfer this lone pair of electrons, right, to form bond with it, and here electrovalent is it will form a negative ion which it will attack to, through which it will attack this electron deficient or positive carbon atom, right. So I hope this is clear. Here the important thing is to understand that there are certain types of nucleophiles, right, that can attack through two sites, that has two nucleophilic centers or that has two attacking sites, through which it can attach itself to the carbon atom, to the electron deficient carbon atom, here to the electron deficient carbon atom, to form two different products, right, to form these two different products which are structural isomers, right. One thing to notice is that these two compounds, right, or these two compounds, these are structural isomers. These are structural isomers that have same number of carbon atoms, but they have different structures, right. In this structure it is connected to the electron deficient carbon through nitrogen atom. In this structure ethyl group is connected through negative oxygen atom, right. So they have same molecular formula but different structure. So these ambident nucleophiles will result into structural isomers, right. And one thing also you can notice here, that here you have two carbon atoms, here you have three carbon atoms, right. So it can elongate the chain, right. It can increase the number of carbon atoms it can increase the carbon chain, right. So it will increase the carbon chain, lengthen it, elongate it, or whatever you can say, right. So these are some important conclusions. Second is it will result into the formation of structural isomers. Now one important thing to understand is that this is an important reaction, right, that can be used to make some important compounds, right. If you hydrolyze this product, it will form an amide, right. Partial hydrolysis of cyanide will form an amide, right. Complete hydrolysis will form a carboxylic acid, and if you will reduce this, it will form a different compound, right. On reduction of this compound, it will form an amine, right. So I'll just write down some of the important reactions of cyanides. Right, this is the cyanide. I'm just checking the general. R is for alkyl group, right. If we go for partial hydrolysis, partial hydrolysis of this compound, it will result into an amide. Right, partial hydrolysis in the presence of alkaline hydrogen peroxide or concentrated hydrochloric acid, it will form an amide. Right, this is an amide. And if the same thing will go for complete hydrolysis, complete hydrolysis will form a carboxylic acid. Right, plus the other product you have is ammonia. And reduction of cyanide is an important reaction. Reduction of cyanide in the presence of sodium and ethanol, right, will result into an amine. Right, it will result into a 1 degree amine. It's RCH2NH2. We know that amines are those compounds that have this amino group, right, which is obtained, if you remember, by replacing one hydrogen atom by one ammonia group, right? One hydrogen atom of ammonia by a methyl group, right, or alkyl group, in general alkyl group, right? Like this, you have ammonia. If you replace one hydrogen atom with any of the alkyl group, what you will get is an amine, right? So this is a 1 degree amine since it has only one amino group, right? So these are some important reactions. Now this is an isocyanide. So let's see what this isocyanide can form. Right, isocyanide will undergo this isocyanide, right, since it is an isocyanide, so it is connected through the nitrogen atom. It will undergo reduction in the presence of sodium and ethanol to form a 2 degree amine, right? It will form a 2 degree amine. This is a 2 degree amine. When we say 2 degree amine, we have two alkyl groups. Here we have only one alkyl group, right? This is only one alkyl group. RCH2 is an alkyl group, right? One alkyl group, 1 degree amine, two alkyl groups, 2 degree amine. Right? So isocyanides will undergo reduction to form 2 degree amines, right, and cyanides will undergo reduction to form 1 degree amine. This is an important reaction, right? I hope all this is clear, right? So the important thing that we have learned, nucleophilic substitution reaction, we already know. We have done this in mechanism of organic reactions, right, where a nucleophile will attack an electron deficient carbon atom. Those are nucleophilic substitution reactions. Here the important thing that we have understood is that there are certain important nucleophiles that are called as ambident nucleophiles that have two attacking centers, right? And when an ambident nucleophile will attack an electron deficient carbon, right, it can, depending on the reagent, potassium cyanide or silver cyanide, this is an electrovalent, this is a covalent, right, it will attack, right, it will attack using its two different centers, via its two different centers, to form different products that are structural isomers, right? And these reactions are way to elongate or increase the number of carbon atoms in the carbon chain. And these are important reactions because where you have cyanide group, right, these nucleophilic substitution reactions are important because they can form different products, right? On hydrolysis, partial hydrolysis will give you amide, complete hydrolysis will give you an acid, carboxylic acid. If you go by reduction, if you go for reduction of cyanides will result into 1 degree amine, right, and reduction of isocyanides will result into 2 degree amines. I hope this is clear. Thanks.